Hello, thank you for your interest in Wayne Combustion's MSR oil burner. Today we'll review a number of adjustments that can be made to the burner. Please note that these adjustments should only be made by a trained technician.
Motor and fan removal. Tools required: 1/4 inch nut driver, 5/16 inch nut driver, and 1/2 inch nut driver. You will also need a long shank 1/8 inch Allen wrench or a 1/8 inch T-handle Allen wrench. Remove the two burner top cover plate screws located near the front edge of the cover using the 1/4 inch nut driver. Loosen the burner top cover plate screw on the fuel pump side of the burner with a 5/16 inch nut driver. Swing the top cover plate back to open. Locate the two wires leading from the motor. These wires may be either black and white or red and white. Remove the wire nuts and separate the motor wires from the other wiring. Using the 1/2 inch nut driver, remove the two bolts securing the motor to the burner housing. Pull the motor and fan assembly straight out of the housing. Take care not to damage the fan during removal or installation. Note: the fuel pump coupling may or may not come out with the motor and fan assembly. Remove the fuel pump coupling. Examine it for deterioration, cracking, and wear of the D-shaped shaft engagement cups in the end caps. Replace fuel pump coupling if necessary. Otherwise, set the coupling aside for reinstallation later if it is determined to be in good condition. Measure the distance between the fan back plate and the face of the motor mounting plate end bell. This measurement will be required when reinstalling the fan. Using the Allen wrench, loosen the set screw in the hub of the fan. Slide the fan off of the motor drive shaft. Motor and fan installation. Slide the fan onto the motor drive shaft. Align the fan set screw with the flat machined into the shaft. Refer to the fan to motor measurement noted when removing the fan. Set the gap between the fan back plate and the face of the motor mounting plate end bell. Tighten the fan set screw, making certain the set screw is positioned squarely over the flat of the motor shaft. Slip fuel pump coupling onto the motor shaft, lining up the flats of the shaft with the D-shaped shaft engagement cups in the end caps of the coupling. Reach into the burner housing and rotate the fuel pump shaft so that the flat of the shaft is on top. Rotate the motor shaft with fan and fuel pump coupling assembled to it so the D-shaped shaft engagement cup of the coupling is on top. Gently insert the motor fan coupling assembly into the burner housing, lining up D-shaped shaft engagement cup of the coupling with the flat of the fuel pump drive shaft. Tip: do not pick up the motor and fan assembly by the fan. Doing so may deform the fan, resulting in it contacting the burner housing at higher RPMs. Tip: if the fuel pump coupling will not slide onto the fuel pump shaft while gently pushing the motor and fan assembly inward, reach inside the burner housing and rotate the fan slowly. This should bring the fuel pump coupling D-cup in line with the flat on the fuel pump shaft. With the fuel pump coupling engaged with the fuel pump shaft and the motor mounting flange lying flat against the burner housing, rotate the motor so that the mounting flange holes align with the threaded motor holes in the burner housing. Wires exiting the motor should be on the top half of the motor. Fasten the motor and fan assembly to the burner housing with two 5/16 inch bolts. Route the motor wires through the hole in the burner housing or into the junction box. Rewire with white to white and black or red from the motor to black from the burner. Close the top cover plate, making sure all wires are tucked behind the housing partition plate to prevent pinching wires as the top cover plate is closed. Install and secure the top cover plate with two screws near the front edge of the cover using the 1/4 inch nut driver. Install and secure the screw on the fuel pump side of the burner with the 5/16 inch nut driver.